Welcome to Fairyland, a whimsical place full of rainbows, sunshine, and self-exploration. And this is Gertrude, seemingly a happy little 10-year-old girl that got isekai to Fairyland, sent on a mission with Larry, her guide, to find a key to return home. Yeah, that was 27 years ago. She kinda sucks at this whole find the key thing, but at least she still has her strapping young body. Wait a minute, a 37-year-old woman in the body of a 10-year-old child. Yeah, that doesn't sound very kid-friendly to me. But that's only because she can't age in Fairyland. Anyway, in the 27 years she's been trapped in Fairyland, she has gained quite the reputation for basically killing everything she sees. And her only so-called friend is Larry, her guide, and he constantly wants to kill himself. We start off with Gertrude and Larry on an airshift, arguing about where to go next to find the key, as the moon narrates everything that's happening. Gertrude doesn't like the constant yapping from Mr. Moonpie, so she blows his brains out. If that wasn't enough, now the stars are getting a taste of Gertrude's death balls. Meanwhile, Claudia, the queen of Fairyland, is enjoying the starry night until sacks of star flesh start falling from the sky. Claudia has had it out for Gertrude for a while now, but this is the last straw. Since she's the queen of Fairyland, and is bound by a bunch of dumb fairy tale rules, she cannot kill or harm Gertrude, so she hires an assassin to kill Gertrude for her. On the other hand, Gertrude and Larry have since gone to Lost Fungus to steal some cash from the casinos and get some food. And yes, you heard me right, Lost Fungus. They get caught by Toads from Mario and taken to a big boss Slugman, who is going to kill her, but he gives her the option of working in some dung mines if she answers his rapper riddle. So he lays down some sick licks that rivals the likes of Slim Shady himself, and Gertrude ends up just strangling him like Jabba the Hutt. The Toad army shows up, but turns out Gertrude was hungry for some mushrooms. She makes her hasty getaway out the window where Larry is waiting for her, and they fly off as Gert is high off her rocker. You ate some of them? Yep. How much did you ingest? Not that much. I'm fine, Mr. Scary Monster. I promise. This is going to be a long night. They get dropped off at some Ice Cream Valley looking place where they're greeted by the assassin that was hired by the queen. I'm not even gonna bother telling you his name because in the next issue, Gertrude is shown fondling his severed head in a pub. When the queen gets word of this, she is not thrilled, so she calls up another person who can kill Gertrude, Horabella, the witch. She heads over to a village that Gertrude is on her way to and finds an unsuspecting victim. Look at this stupid fawn. Miss Witchy offers him an apple and he willingly eats whatever he's given. Stupid idiot. Oh, turns out it was a brain that turned him into a zombie. Tough break, man. Next time, don't trust a green old hag with a nose long enough to rival Dr. Doof. We cut back to Gertrude and Larry performing an autopsy on an entire race of giggle giants. She said slay the tickle troll and hunt the heart. Not even close. She said pay the fickle troll or be bumped to the start. What toll? Yeah, she's not the best listener. Anyways, they make their way to the nearby village to find everyone has been turned into zombies. So Gertrude does what she does best. Killing people, obviously. That went way better than expected. You know better than to doubt me, Larry. It'll take a lot more than a few running fawns to ruin my day. That's a lot more than a few. But it's not a lot, right? What's a lot to you? You know, like enough a lot to be annoying, but not enough a lot to overwhelm us and eat us while we watch and scream. Okay, well, it might be a lot then. Muffin Fluffer! Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, they have this weird way of swearing in Fairyland. From the fluff you to the huggin' fluffer to the that's a load of zip. Yeah, it's a bit different to say the least. Anyways, Gert and Larry defeat the witches, zombies, and blow up the town. At this point, Claudia has no choice but to go to the special Fairyland Council and ask them for permission to allow another kid to get isekai to Fairyland. You see, in the Big Fairy Bible, it states that if there are two kids in Fairyland at one time, the first one to find the key is allowed to leave, and the other one becomes a permanent resident of Fairyland. If that happens, Gertrude would no longer be considered a guest there, and the queen would be allowed to kill her all she wants. Who's in? Perfect. Back to Gert. She's being chased by the fattest centaur I've ever seen. Then she falls off a cliff, and then we are shown the most unhinged display of sequential comic book art I've ever seen, while Larry waits for Gertrude to wake up. When she finally does wake up, she is greeted to Happy, the little girl that the queen let into Fairyland so that Gertrude will get stuck here. Gertrude isn't exactly happy when she finds out that there's a new kid in town, so she swings her massive axe at her, but Happy just deflects her attack with a Kamehameha. Later, when Gertrude has healed up and Happy is gone, she decides to give the queen a little visit to find out what the heck just happened. They use a vanity gate that they have for some reason to get to Claudia, and they find out what's happening. After Gertrude is filled in on why Happy is in Fairyland, you'd think it would just be a race to find the key to get out, right? Nope. She goes and visits the devil himself, Darketh Deadeth. Yeah, I'm not making this up. Gertrude wants him to give her his powers so she can defeat Happy, since the last time they fought, she was too strong. Skullman agrees, but only if Gertrude can make it through his evil dungeons and survive. Meanwhile, Happy has found the key. Yep, it's only been a couple days and she found the key. Is Gertrude just really stupid or something? Just when Happy is about to leave, Gertrude shows up with her new Super Saiyan power-up. They fight and Happy is defeated. Gertrude finally has the key to get out. She opens the door, and freedom from the Spark Lake prison is finally in arm's reach. And just before she's about to step out, she kills the queen. Ha ha ha! That made every single year I've been here worth it! What the? The key, no! Where'd it go, Larry? What's going on? Why can't I go home? Upon the death of the queen, the one who deals the fatal blow must take up the crown and become the queen of Fuffin' Fairyland. Turns out being a queen isn't super fun. Just a bunch of paperwork, unveilings, and handshakes. Sound boring? Yep, but at least it's easy, right? Nah, Gertrude can't even get that right. A year passes and turns out Fairyland's HR isn't happy with Gert's performance. So she gets sacked. But it's okay because being queen sucked. But it had its perks, like getting information about a specific collector in Fairyland that supposedly has a way to leave this candy confinement. So they go off to meet Purvis Pedalsteel, and he shows them his crappy old van that supposedly can transport you back to the real world. The only problem is, it's out of fuel. And the type of fuel it runs on is dragon pee. And all the dragons are hibernating for like 9,000 years or something. Meanwhile, in the real world, some kid in a dragon costume goes to the Shrek porta potty outhouse to go pee. Can you see where this is going? Yeah, it turns out the Shrek poop hole transports him to Fairyland and straight to Gertrude. Quickly, piss in the gas tank! And they're off. Look at them go. They'll be home in no time. Oh. Well, time for plan B. So later on, Duncan, the Dragon Boy, and Gertrude trade a couple of eyeballs for a golden coin with some wizard guy so that they can go into an arcade place where the owner allegedly has information on how to get out of Fairyland. They slip the coin in and they're transported into... Oh my god. It's just like Street Fighter 2. And Gertrude's actually hot now? Shut up, it's not what it sounds like. I'm allowed to say that. She's 37 years old, remember? She only happens to look like a 10-year-old girl. I'm not weird, you're weird! Oh wait, I just read the back of the book. It says that she actually looks like a 6-year-old. Never mind. Guess I was wrong about the whole 10-year-old thing. Oops. Anyways, the Killer Kitty boss says that he'll help them get out if she can beat all of his fighters. This will be no problem, right? That's literally all Gertrude knows how to do. Never mind. Oh, also, there was a condition that if he won, he'd get to keep Duncan. So, he's gone now, I guess. After Duncan's untimely departure, there's a lot of filler episodes where Gertrude kind of just does stuff. She loses a poker game to a vampire and is forced to get him something from out of Gary's magical hat that's bigger on the inside. But turns out there's a whole revolution going on in there, so she commits genocide on the residents. Next, she becomes a Terminator because apparently in the future, centuries of Gertrude's abusing Duncan manifests into an evil monster that will destroy everything. So, future Gert has to go back in time to stop herself from going on a wrong path in some dungeon and save the future. But she doesn't listen and nothing changes. Didn't listen to you, did she? Not a word. Are you gonna cease to exist because of the time paradox thing? Yep. Then she goes to Fairy Comic-Con and fangirls over some famous fighter. But then she finds a fangirl of her own. But the fangirl is so annoying that she realizes she needs to change her ways and become good. Because, dang, she is straight evil and annoying. I can't believe it took meeting a carbon copy of herself to realize that. So she goes on this samurai arc trying to do good by saving a kidnapped baby from a clan of mushroom heads. But turns out she was the bad guy after all, and returning the baby to its owner just got the baby eaten. Even when she tries to do good, she still sucks. So continuing on Gertrude's quest to become a good person, she comes across a labyrinth where there are magical glowing balls in the center that will make her a good person by touching them. If she doesn't make it to the center of the maze in time, the maze master will get to marry her. So she finds her way through the maze, finds Duncan, whose new job apparently is being a dragon for the maze. So she takes him out and gets her hands on those balls. Don't say anything. I know, I heard myself. So she touches them, and she becomes a good person. With her newfound morals, she is easily able to find the key and get out. Only problem is that Horabella saw good Gertrude and wants her dead. So she calls up all the assassins of Fairyland to take her out. It doesn't work, but instead she ends up killing herself on accident. This is why you don't run with suckers in your mouths, kids. Story's over, right? Nope. Instead we get to see Gertrude show up in hell. She is greeted by Happy. Ooh, nice callback. Then she's induced to psychological horror until finally coming face to face with Satan himself. Her own personal hell is being trapped in Fairyland, so now she has to relive everything that happened over and over and over again. Meanwhile, back in the actual Fairyland, Horabella gets rewarded by bringing Gertrude to Satan, so Satan gives her the bones of Claudia, which she uses to bring her back to life. But uh-oh, she's evil now. Who could have seen that coming? I mean, it happened when they brought Superman back to life. How is the Queen any different? So now Fairyland is going to end if they don't stop Claudia. And who can stop her? Well, Gertrude, of course. So Larry and Duncan journey to the Council of Fairyland to request Gert to be brought back to life to save Fairyland. So she's brought back from the dead and given a deal to defeat Claudia in exchange for her freedom from Fairyland. The council also gifts her their combined hearts to create the magical heart of Fairyland, which makes her uber powerful. So off she goes to absolutely beat the living crap out of Claudia. They fight and it's intense, but Gert wins. And for once she doesn't kill her. Maybe she really did become good. And finally, the moment you've been waiting for. She's finally free! Oh. Turns out real life kinda sucks too. Well, dang. Anyways, that's the end. There's new issues coming out about Gertrude as an adult, so if you want me to go over that part of the series, leave a comment. If you enjoy what you see, consider subscribing. I just kind of summarize comics. So, okay, that's it. Bye!